Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Still continuing to see some mostly sunny skies out there this morning with temperatures starting to climb into the mid-50s at this time with a light southerly wind. Expecting a nice, fairly seasonable day ahead today, and we'll see clouds on the increase as we go overnight and a slight breeze developing as we expect our next chance for some precipitation moving into the area as we go through the morning hours tomorrow. Take a look at our current surface analysis. We have high pressure in control over the region, and off to the west northwest we have a cold front that is approaching. That will approach the area as we go overnight into our day tomorrow. Out ahead of it, we see that tighter pressure gradient with that area of low pressure over the Great Lakes. That will be moving into the area later today and through the overnight hours, and that's going to keep those winds on the breezy side as we get later in the day and overnight. And then again, we'll see those clouds increasing as well. If we take a look at our upper level winds from this morning sounding, we have some light southerly winds near the surface becoming more northeasterly as we go up through the column, staying fairly light through the wind column today, and then eventually becoming more north to northwesterly as we get up in the mid and upper levels. But seeing our peak wind 32 knots today at 25,000 feet, and the freezing levels at 5,300 feet. If we look at our current visible satellite, we see those mainly clear skies out there. Continuing to see just a few high clouds moving through the area. That will be the case as we move through today, likely seeing a few to scattered deck around 25,000 feet. We'll see more of those mid and lower level clouds building in as we get into the start of the day tomorrow. If we look at our short-term high-resolution model here again, as we go through the day, expecting mainly nice and seasonable conditions. Moving through the day today, just a few high clouds streaming through the area. We'll see things becoming slightly breezy as we get later in the day today, and keeping that breeze around as we go through the overnight hours. We'll see those increasing clouds as we go through the overnight out ahead of that front. And as we get into the start of the day on Wednesday, we'll have a chance of seeing maybe a few light sprinkles prior to 8 a.m., but most of the activity should hold off as we get past that 8 a.m. time frame, and should be just some light showers moving through the area, not a lot of accumulation with this event, and most of that should start to wrap up as we get into the afternoon time frame. You'll see here her model indicating a few showers later in the day along the boundary itself. A bit of an outlier, but we'll be keeping an eye on that to see if we get better agreement with other models to indicate a few afternoon showers. But right now, expecting most of that preset to be over by the time we get into the afternoon time frame. And we'll see things quieting down with just partly cloudy skies as we go overnight Wednesday night into Thursday. If we look at the European model here, zooming out, looking at the longer term forecast, high pressure moves in behind that, and as it sets up to the north of the local area, we'll see those winds becoming onshore as we go through the remainder of the week, keeping a northeasterly breeze on Thursday, becoming more easterly on Friday, so that's going to keep those temperatures back down below average for this time of year, but overall expecting dry conditions as we move through the end of the week as well as into the weekend. We'll see that high pressure moving off to the east, bringing more southerly component to the wind as we go into the weekend. We'll see a weak warm front lifting through the area on Saturday. Right now, most of the models showing dry conditions through the day on Saturday. Low chance of seeing maybe a few or a light shower pushing through the area during the afternoon hours, but looking at about 10% or less chance at this time. But we'll see warming trend as we go towards the second half of the weekend and setting up for a warm start to next week, as high pressure keeps things pretty dry and potentially seeing our next chance of precip moving into the area more so into the middle of next week. So if we look at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, expecting green conditions as we move over the next 24 hours, with the exception of picking up that yellow risk for winds at or above 25 knots as we get into the start of our Wednesday tomorrow. Expecting those winds becoming slightly breezy out of the south-southeast as we get into the afternoon this afternoon, gusting up to 19 knots. We'll see those winds staying breezy as we go through the overnight time frame and picking up a bit, becoming more southwesterly. Could see those peak gusts up around 23 knots as we get to the start of the day tomorrow. Otherwise, things are looking pretty good over the next 24 hours. We'll see our high temperature climbing up to around 63 degrees this afternoon. We'll see mainly sunny skies with just a few high clouds, maybe isolated cumulus moving through the area. And as we go through the overnight, we'll see those clouds increasing, starting with the high clouds increasing, some mid and lower clouds starting to build in as we get into the morning hours. We'll see our low around 50 degrees, likely early on this evening, and then as that wind becomes more southwesterly, we'll see a slight warming trend as we go into the start of the day on Wednesday. We pick up that very slight chance of a light sprinkle after 6 a.m., but again, better chance of those rain showers moving in after the 8 a.m. time frame. Tides are running a half a foot to a foot above normal. Wednesday, we'll start off cloudy with that chance of light rain showers, again, mainly during the morning time frame, and most of the activity should wrap up by the time we get into the afternoon. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions that will likely be earlier in the day as well. So we do have that yellow chance for precip, as well as those winds at or above 25 knots. We'll see mostly to partly cloudy conditions as we get later in the day, but high temperature around 68 degrees, so comfortable day overall. Going into Wednesday night, we'll see a more northerly component to the wind that will allow temperatures to cool back down to around 45 degrees. But overall, partly to mostly cloudy, and we'll see a slight breeze as we get towards the morning hours of Thursday as that wind shifts out of the northeast, but green conditions expected. And then Thursday, mostly to partly cloudy conditions with a slightly breezy onshore flow with that northeasterly wind. That's going to keep things cooler with a high around 55 degrees. If we look at our extended forecast here as we go through the remainder of the week, below average temperatures with the onshore breeze continuing for Friday, but overall mostly sunny. And as we go into the weekend, we'll start off with partly to mostly cloudy conditions on Saturday. That low end 10% chance of seeing a shower move push through the area with the warm front, high around 63 degrees. And as we get into the second part of our weekend and into the beginning of next week, we're back up into the mid 70s for our highs and our lows in the mid 50s to start next week. So warming trend coming into next week, but cooler conditions as we get through the remainder of our week, or at least the second portion of the week. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.